נחמו נחמו עמי יאמר אלוקיכם נחמו נחמו עמי יאמר אלוקיכם.
Hello everyone, this is the final in the series about Tisha B'Av, and hopefully the last time we will be learning Hilchos Avelus regarding Tisha B'Av, and hopefully we will be learning Hilchos Yontif more sooner than later. But we have to deal with the real, and we have to aspire and do everything to reach the ideal. So, if Tisha B'Av is on Thursday and it's a day of mourning and fasting, and we have a minhag, as we said last time, to extend our mourning a bit, either all the 9 days practices or just meat and wine, into the 10th. Does that apply when it's Erev Shabbos? The truth of the matter is, most poskim say yes, but with a caveat. What do I mean? The Mishnah Berurah and the Magen Avraham both say that the minute the fast is over, you can go back to Ikar Hadin, when it's a Thursday night, and start laundering, taking a haircut, shaving, because Shabbos is coming. On the other hand, there's no reason to allow meat and wine. That's the opinion of the Shulchan Aruch, that it extends the entire 10th. And therefore, there's no reason to allow that till Friday night. You can live without meat and wine. But to do all your laundry only from midday Friday into Shabbos would be too much if they're not doing it for 9 days. To make sure everyone gets a haircut by the barber would be too much. So therefore, we go back to Ikar Hadin. We go back to the regular din of the Gemara, that the minute the fast is over, everything's allowed. We just maintain meat and wine. And therefore, from Thursday night after the fast, break your fast. You can take a shave, you can take a haircut, and you can do your laundry. However, the Aruch HaShulchan, as well as the Sharei Tshuva, quoting the Eliyahu Rabbah and others, say, this is fine and good, I agree with this, but why allow it Thursday night right after the fast? We already said in the name of the Maharil that after a fast that has to do with Tshuva, you don't eat meat and wine. It's not appropriate that night, the minute the fast is over, to right away put on the washing machine. And therefore they say, wait till Friday morning. With the exception of meat and wine, that you wait until midday, to Ashkenazim and to Sephardim probably all day, from our perspective, till Friday night. My question is, why? And I'd like to bring two possible answers. Answer number one is, because as we said, it's only a minhag. And because it's a minhag, we keep it unless it clashes with a din d'Rabbanan. There's a din d'Rabbanan called Kvod Shabbos. You have to get ready for Shabbos. It's going to clash, because if you wait till midday, there's going to be a mad rush till Shabbos, and that is not appropriate, because people will scream and yell and try to get things done. And therefore, we go back to Ikar Hadin, and we say we'll keep this minhag when Tisha B'Av comes out on Sunday, or when it comes out on Tuesday, but not when it comes out on Thursday. But I'd like to give a different reason. Magen Avraham, hu pashut keshechal b'yom vav hakol mutar lichvod Shabbat. And that's the words that the Mishnah Berurah repeats in his name. From this perspective, what are they trying to say? Shabbos is a day in which we are not creators. There's 39 things we can't do, which basically stops us from creating anything. That being the case, it's a day that we're more creatures than creators. We acknowledge God as the creator, and we're creatures. In a word, God is our Father in heaven, and we are his children. What does God want more from the Jewish people than to get along? As we said yesterday, in the first temple, the walls of Yerushalayim were breached on the 9th, and in the second temple on the 17th. And therefore the Shulchan Aruch says, we have agab dekir b'kra, b'tisha l'chodesh ufka'a here, even though during the first Beis HaMikdash it says in Yirmiyahu that on the 9th the walls were breached, and mitanim tet bo ela b'yud zayin. Yud zayin b'Tammuz is the fast day, and not the 9th of Tammuz. Mipnei she'af ha'pshish b'Yishana ufka'a b'tet bo, kivan shebashniya ufka'a b'yud zayin bo, tiknu leitanot b'yud zayin bo, mishum shechurban bayit sheni chamir lan. The takana, the enactment of our sages, was to fast on the 17th of Tammuz and not on the 9th of Tammuz, because the second Beis HaMikdash is more chamor for us. This is not just true for the onset of these 3 weeks, but for the end of these 3 weeks, namely Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av is the day that the second Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. But what happened in the first Beis Hamikdash? The Gemara in Tainis, Daf Kafted Amud Aleph, says that on the 7th they came into Har HaBayit and they started to ruin things. And on the 9th, towards evening, they lit the match and it basically burnt most of the 10th. Namely, a little bit on the 9th, but mostly on the 10th. And therefore, Rabbi Yochanan said, if I was alive then, I would have made the fast on the 10th, because that's Rubo Shel Heichal Bo Nisraf. That was the day that most of the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, in the first Beis Hamikdash, not the second. The Gemara then asks, what about the second? We have no Psukim, we have no Nevi'im, and it says it has to be that day. Suffice it to say, we fast on the 17th of Tammuz and on the 9th of Av, because we pattern our practices based on what happened in the second Beis Hamikdash. Being the case, there's no reason whatsoever to extend the mourning till Friday, except to remember the first Beis Hamikdash. But maybe this halacha says, remember why you're mourning. The second Beis Hamikdash has not been rebuilt yet because of sinat chinam, baseless hatred. If Shabbos is looming, maybe the Jewish people will take it to heart and say, as much as I disagree with my friend and I think he's wrong, he's still my brother, he's still my sister. We'll argue, but around the same dining room table. We'll disagree, but with civility. Maybe because Shabbos is looming, the Jewish people don't need all those mourning practices like every year. Because maybe they'll take Shabbos to heart, and maybe they'll start talking a little more softly. Maybe they'll start conversing a little more with civility, and maybe, just maybe, indeed, these days will be a thing of the past. So therefore, you're allowed this year, on Thursday night, to start laundering, shaving, haircuts, because Shabbos teaches you this is the way to start fixing these days. If these days were created by Sinat Chinam, then with Shabbos looming, the first thing we have to say is, we are creatures and not creators. We are all children of God. And what does a parent want more than his children to get along with one another? Wishing everyone a significant and an easy fast, and most importantly, a significant and a substantial post-fast.
the key.